Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. We have an atrocious pack to start. There are no blue cards except for Upheaval, which isn't really a card I like to first pick. Although, you can first pick it. And then, I guess that you could take like Mother of Runes or Figure of Destiny if you want to lean aggro. Ketria Triome is decent. Figure of Destiny is probably the win percentage maximizing pick, because it's very good in both mono red and mono white. But Upheaval is very sweet and good in a lot of decks. I still think it was just too weird to first pick this. Like, it only works if you get tons of mana acceleration, and that's hard to do. I guess you could play it in blue-green or in blue artifacts. Yeah, we'll take the Upheaval. We can still pivot to aggro if we get really cut later, but the upside is very, very high, and I think the fact that you can play it with green decks too makes it a lot better. All right, let's take a Simic Signet now pretty easily. If we had taken the Figure of Destiny, we would take Gideon. But we want Artifact mana if we're playing Upheaval. Blue Artifact mana is the best. Blue-green might even be the best of all. Miscalculation is good. Karn is good. But I think Signet's the way to go. Okay, now we have a pretty bad... Well, so there's Primeval Titan, which is pretty good. There's Verdant Catacombs. You could take a land. Could take Cryptic Command if we want to really try to force blue, but that's unlikely to work. Could take Echo of Eons, which finds the Upheaval. But I'm kind of leaning just toward taking the Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, let's do this. There's a good chance we're going to want to play green, and we're definitely going to want to play blue, and this gives us a lot more consistency. The best card we could possibly get here would probably be like Mana Vault or something like that. That sometimes goes fourth, and it's very, very good with Upheaval and just good in these sorts of decks in general. Decks that want to make a lot of mana. Okay, now we have Ignoble Hierarch or Ancestral Vision. I think it's probably better to take the Vision. Hierarch is good, but if this was Noble Hierarch and it could make blue mana, I would take that. But good card draw is pretty hard to... Or like... There's a lot of good card draw spells in this format, but you still need to take them highly because everyone's taking them highly. So, yeah, let's take the Ancestral Vision. Now we could take Dig Through Time. Yeah, probably just Dig Through Time. Plays well with the fetch land that we already have, and it's good if you're making a lot of mana. When you have a card like Upheaval, and you get sufficient card draw, you really can build around it. Just play like a bunch of mana, things that develop your mana, and a bunch of card draw, and then... When you have enough mana and you draw enough cards, you can just win with Upheaval. Other decks like that can struggle because they fall too far behind on board. But if your win condition is Upheaval, it literally doesn't matter. They could have 5 Planeswalkers. They could have 100 creatures. You still kill them all. All right, now it's a pretty easy Birds of Paradise. That's excellent. Makes blue mana. Just a great card to get 6th pick. Hextrigger is good too, but this is more of a Birds deck. Nissa, Who Shakes the World, would be really sweet for this deck. Any cards that put lands into play, like Cultivate, are good for this deck. More artifact mana, more card draw. Well, I don't love Endurance. It's a good sideboard card. We could speculate on the turnabout. We could still become Storm, theoretically. And we're not missing out on much by passing the rest of the stuff. Like, again, Endurance, something. We could take the land in case we find some good white cards. Could take, like, Hangerback Walker. But I think it's best to speculate on this. High upside. Good. It's most likely not going to make it to the deck, but it'd be pretty sweet if we could go Blue-Green Storm. And there's even some builds where a turnabout would be playable without playing Hardcore Storm. Like, if we wield Echo of Eons, it's good with just, like, a draw 7, just as a mana generation engine. It's good with Upheaval. This is from the set Urza Saga. There's also a Magic card called Urza Saga that I would potentially like. And it plays kind of well with Turnabout. Okay, Opposition is interesting. that we're not really an opposition deck yet, but blue-green opposition is a good deck. Um, and so that's one option. Alternatively, we could take Finhorn Elves, which gives us more acceleration, and I think that probably is the pick. Sower of Temptation is also fine, but yeah, getting a 1-mana accelerant this late is pretty sweet. I think that's most likely where we want to be. All right, so Heartbeat of Spring and Turnabout is kind of a combo. I think that is the pick here. I mean, nothing else is very good at all except for maybe Taiga. Yeah, we'll speculate on this. Now we get Phantasmal Image, which could become good. There was a High Tide that, or no, a Brain Freeze that we passed earlier, and Echo of Eons. Oh, well, okay, the Echo comes around. That's kind of sweet. Plow Under is not necessary here, I think. Does the Brain Freeze wheel? That would be pretty sweet. If we want to go Storm and we don't have Brain Freeze, we can win, but it becomes a lot harder. There's like the red and black have Storm win conditions, but splashing a third color wouldn't be great in this deck. We could go like just play Eldrazi and just generate enough mana to hit them potentially, especially if we get another doubler like Nissa. I don't remember if this was the Brain Freeze pack. Let's take Oblivion Stone though. This can be good just for clearing the board. Buying time. Bomber. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get Brain Freeze. That is unfortunate. I don't remember what we took over Brain Freeze. I was definitely not thinking we were going to do Storm at the time, but we did get some pretty good... Oh! Oh! Okay. Okay. Maybe we're doing some Storm here. Okay, what do we have here? There is Bribery, which is a card that can just win the game on its own. There's Mind's Desire, which is obviously a Storm card. We could take Flooded Strand to help with the mana. Because I think these green cards are pretty good if we can play them. To be honest, so Mind's Desire is definitely coming around. And I actually think Bribery might just be the pick. It's not on the Storm theme, but it can just win the game single-handedly on its own. And at the very least, they have to expend a lot of resources dealing with the Bribery, and that can buy you time to set up the rest of your combo. It's also even an out to them having Eldrazi that shuffle in. Could try and take Yawgmoth's Will, I guess. Take Yawgmoth's Will, Mind's Desire. We do have Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, let's do that, actually. Yeah. So we'll take Yawgmoth's Will, try to wheel Mind's Desire. Now we have Uro and Mana Vault and Llanowar Elves. Uro lets us put lands into play, but we're not going to be able to escape it very often. Life from the Loam is kind of interesting. We could take Manamorphose, but it might come around. We should probably take Mana Vault, actually. Yeah, let's take the Mana Vault. This card just generates so much mana. Great with Upheaval. Yeah, we can take this and then try to wheel Manamorphose. Okay, Ponder and Exploration are both interesting, and High Tide. Okay, I think we need to take... Like, High Tide and Preordain are definitely the two cards we want here. There's no chance Ponder comes around. I think there's a good chance that the High Tide does. Turnabout came around pretty late. There's also another solid blue card in this pack. Yeah, I'm going to take a risk and take the Ponder and try and wheel the High Tide. I think it should come around. And Ponder is really, really good. It's better than just like a okay card. Alright, unfortunately, Ragran Triumph doesn't help us. We could play Prismatic Vista. Baral could be good, and then there's also Elvish Mystic. But I think we want to take Prismatic Vista, especially because it could potentially help us fix for Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, pretty easy chart, of course, now. Just some good card draw. Okay, now we have Ulamog. We're not playing red also. That's going too deep. We can take Ulamog to try and like Mind's Desire into. We're not missing out on much by passing everything else here. Yeah, let's just take the Ulamog. It may or may not make the cut, but it's a nice alternate win condition. Now I get a Probe, which is just great. Free Storm, free Delve, just a really good card. The spells are looking sweet in this deck. The problem is if we're going to get the mana to play all these other cards that we want. We could even cut the Birds and the Finhorn Elves, but I really would like to play Heartbeat of Spring alongside the Turnabout. Oh, Nurturing Peatland is actually kind of sweet here. Nice. Spellseeker is good. There's also Palinchron, which does go infinite with Heartbeat of Spring or with High Tide if we have enough mana. But I think it's still just better to get Spellseeker. It can find the Brain Freeze. It can find Card Draw. It can hopefully find High Tide. Yeah, let's take that. All right, sweet. Mind's Desire does come around. I would love Flooded Strand. I would maybe love Emrakul, but I think we take the Mind's Desire here. So the one other wheel that we really want is the High Tide. This is still only 2 packs, though. I think we can pretty certainly cut that. Okay, now Thassa's Oracle versus Manamorphose. Thassa's Oracle is another alternate win condition if we play a huge Mind's Desire. But I think we still want to just take the Manamorphose. It's free Storm. It helps us fix our mana for black. Great with Yawgmoth's Will. Yeah, sorry, Thassa's Oracle. So Thassa's Oracle enables a few things. First of all, if we're not playing Ulamog, we can Brain Freeze our own deck and then play Thassa's Oracle for the win if they have Eldrazi. And then it also is just, like I said, if they make you discard your Brain Freeze early, you can't shuffle it in for whatever reason with Echo of Eons, then you can Mind's Desire your entire library and play it that way. I think the best thing we could get at this point would just be more card draw. All right, the High Tide does come around. That is excellent. This deck is sweet. I don't think we're playing any of these red or white cards no matter what, so maybe there's a weird world where we want to play the Reclaimer. Like if we get Dark Depths. All right, we'll take a Ritual. Don't really care what we get last. All right. This deck is looking really, really good. I mean, we could play... This would be functional already if we didn't even get a third pack. More broken mana would be good too. Like, I mean, Black Lotus certainly. I don't think we've passed Treachery or Frantic Search. Okay, there's a Tinker, but we're not really tinkering. We don't have that many artifacts. I think we just want to take Mana Leak here. Yeah, and that's a totally reasonable first pick. It's not broken, and it would be nice to get something broken. I guess we could try to take Underworld Breach, but let's just take the Mana Leak. Very, very good interaction that will help keep us alive. Now there is Zagoth Triome, which is actually excellent. Swamp Forest Island. That's all the colors we want to play. We could take Shriekmaw, we could take Riftwing, Lotus Bloom, Suspicious Stowaway, but I think we do just take... Oh, there's also Fast Bond, which is good with Echo of Eons, but it's not really good with the rest of our cards. Yeah, let's take the Triome. I think this will really help the mana. And most importantly, it is an island. We want as many islands as possible for the card High Tide. Okay, some interesting options here. There's Watery Grave, which would help solidify the mana more. Arbor Elf and Grist are both great green cards, but I think that's too far away from our main plan. Imperial Seal adds a lot of consistency, and Cabal Ritual adds a lot of mana. And we are a bit light on mana at the moment, but I'm a little bit hesitant to take a black card when our black mana is not great, although it actually is kind of great. If we play one Swamp, that gives us 5 black sources already. Okay, yeah, I think we can take Imperial Seal then and try and wheel Cabal Ritual. Alright, here we have Xander's Lounge is a blue-black land, so it does help us a bit. We could take Relic of Progenitus, which is decent for dealing with Eldrazi. But I think that's a little bit narrow. I think it's probably best just to take the blue-black land. Yeah, let's solidify the mana a bit. Now we get a black-green land. It is a marginal upgrade. There's also Expressive Iteration, which is excellent, but I think we want to take Repeal. Well, we have so many spells. Are we really playing Repeal? We're probably not playing Upheaval at this point. Yeah, actually, Repeal is good. That's exactly the kind of interaction you want in this deck. Something that draws cards and buys time. Doesn't matter that it's not a permanent answer. Not doing Past in Flames. Yeah, I think we just want to take Brainstorm here. It's pretty solid. We have 2 fetch lands, and it's another cheap cantrip. Sort of funny that we led on Upheaval and then went a completely different direction, but I'm very happy with where we went. This is probably going to be a 17 land deck, so what, we need 2 more spells. We could just play, like, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of cards in our sideboard that we could play, but I'd rather get 2 more cards that I'm very excited about playing, of course. Well, there's Treasure Cruise if we think we can fill our graveyard that much, or there's Waterlogged Grove. That's a pretty interesting pick. Um, I think I'm going to take the Grove. It's close. It's not that I don't like Treasure Cruise. I think this card would be really good in this deck. It looks like we can fill our graveyard very quickly. I don't mind having 2 Delve spells, but this is a very, very good card. It's more mana fixing, which is important. It also helps us to mitigate mana flood by the fact that it can cycle. And I know I said I wanted to have as many islands as possible, but having 1 non-island that makes blue is fine because you can use that to play the High Tide. Ooh, now we get Hydroid Krasis. There's also Golgari Signet, but I think Krasis is actually really sweet here. Now we'll take a Blooming Marsh. I don't think we can do Mana Flare, unfortunately. I guess we do have Xander's Lounge, which makes red. So right now we have 1, 2, 3 free red sources. No, I think that's going too deep. Let's just take the Blooming Marsh. Now we can take a Riftwing Cloudskate or Assassin's Trophy. Actually, let's take the Trophy. This is a really solid, just like deal with what, like the card disadvantage is irrelevant. You can just deal with whatever you want to deal with. Now we'll take Cabal Ritual. That's a good pickup. So right now we're cutting 1 card. What is that card? I think I do like the birds. I definitely want to keep all of these. We could maybe go only 16 lands, since we do have such a low curve with so many cantrips. But we also want to put a land into play pretty much every turn. We could cut the Simic Signet. Nice. This is a pretty good wheel. Green-black. We might actually be at a point where we don't need to play any... Oh, that's actually a sideboard card we'll even bring in sometimes. But we might not even need to play basic lands that aren't islands anymore. It makes Prismatic Vista worse, but I don't think that really matters. We can just play Prismatic Vista only to get islands. If we're cutting 1 card, what is it? So birds. Maybe we just move the Assassin's Trophy to the board. Just go like very interactive main deck, or very like linear main deck, and then bring in the interaction post board if we need it. So we'll sort by color, but we know we're mostly mono blue. So we have 15 versus 4 versus 3. If we just add all islands, how would this look? For green sources, we have 1, not that one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems fine. We only need 1. And for blue, or for black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That also seems fine. And then for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, yeah, our blue is fine. We have plenty of blue. I guess the question is, do we want to cut like Blooming Marsh for even another island? But I don't think so. I think we run it like this, play a lot of islands, and High Tide storm them out. See you in round 1. Alright, we have our opponent for round 1 with Sultai Storm. Not a deck I've drafted too often, but it came together as well as it can, honestly. I guess we don't have Ancestral Recall or anything like that, but I think it's pretty sweet, and we will keep this hand. Most important thing is just to put lands into play and buy time. Draga Tree Speaker, so we're playing against green. That is probably our best matchup. Let's take the Swamp Forest Island Triome. Alright, that was a pretty bad draw. We're definitely going to be repealing this Draga Tree Speaker, which is honestly a huge blowout. It's pretty sweet. Turnabout, alright. So, we could just slam Heartbeat of Spring this turn and pass. The thing is, we don't really have much else, so I actually think that is worth it. I don't like this type of play in general, but we can't hit more land drops. We need to do something. If we just pass and then like pass again, we have no real plan. It's going to take a long time before we can make anything happen. Whereas this gives us an out. Maybe they have a way to deal with the Heartbeat. Maybe they have counter magic. There's a lot of ways that this loses, certainly. But it also gives us a legitimate chance to win, or sort of a path forward rather than just waiting. Okay. If they just played... Okay, Draga Tree Speaker plus Hexdrinker is not that big of a problem. I think we can beat this. Opposition. That is a problem. That is a huge problem, and that's going to end the game immediately. Unless we do something about it. Imperial Seal is a terrible draw. So what we need to do is turn about our own lands here. Wait. I almost messed it up. We need to let this trigger resolve and then turn about our own land so it doesn't get tapped again. Land. Untap. Unfortunately, we don't have another land, but we can do sort of interesting play, which is to play Yawgmoth's Will and get the land that way. Unfortunately, it's going to be tapped, though, because that Verdant Catacombs can only get tapped lands. But, let's see, we can do this, this. Play Yawgmoth's Will. Wait. Oh, no. The fact that we can't get an untapped land is actually a disaster. Because it means that we can't Yawgmoth's Will into Turnabout. Is there any way we can win then? Oh, that's so frustrating. So not having a swamp or a forest is actually very detrimental here. Also, if we had Underground Sea, if we had any untapped land in our entire deck, we could play Yawgmoth's Will, Verdant Catacombs, fetch a land, Turnabout, untap all my lands, and I would have a ton of mana, and then we could either Echo of Yawnt or Mind's Desire and be in decent shape. Now, I don't think there's anything we can do at all other than just jam Echo of Eons and hope to get insanely lucky. I'm not even sure there is anything that I could draw here, but like this is our only out. Mind's Desire for 2 can't win here. And if we let them untap, then they can tap all our lands. Okay, that's actually, funnily enough, maybe a hand that can do it. Let's probe them for life. Okay, drawing a land there hurts. That might mean that we can't. I'm just gonna brain freeze them for as much as I can. We're not gonna be able to win this game, but we at least get to see their deck. They also see that we're playing brain freeze, but I think they can already tell. Now, I don't think there's any way we can survive long enough. We could flash. I guess we could flashback Echo of Eons next turn and just like try it all again if they tap their things. But probably not. This should be a good matchup though. They don't have any interaction for us other than this one opposition and I guess Spell Pierce. Yeah, it should be a decent matchup. We just need to hope to dodge the opposition. This might be a good matchup for Oblivion Stone to buy a lot of time. Or Garrick Relentless. Alright, after much deliberation, my opponent has tapped one forest. We'll see if they will do anything with this 2 mana. Elvish Reclaimer, that's a pretty weird play. Nissa, okay. I mean, they're just playing a bunch of things so they can tap all my lands, I guess. Yeah, that probably is good here. Yeah, so they're just going wide. Their plan is to tap all our lands this turn. And then kill us on the next swing. Yeah, we can't beat that. All right, so opposition. Tough card. There's an argument that they're not making any changes. I think we could have won if we had that one untapped land. So that is an argument for adding one more, but I think that's pretty niche of like playing Yawgmoth's Will and needing it that turn. I do think I like each of these though as a way to buy a lot of time. We drew a bunch of really expensive stuff there, and I think that was an anomaly. That's not how it's usually going to go. I will cut Hydroid Krasis though because that's more of like a card for grindy matchups that are killing our things and trying to play an attrition game. Imperial Seal. Maybe Simic Signet. But we did bring in Garrick. Yeah, let's cut the Imperial Seal into play and run it like this. No Ancestral Recall or anything like that to find, unfortunately. Actually, no. Let's cut Birds of Paradise, I think. I think that's probably a little bit better. Phantasmal Image could be good, but we didn't see that. Like, if they were playing like a bunch of Deranged Hermits, we might need that, but I don't think that's the case here. Sorry about this delay. This is a very deliberative opponent, which is fair enough, but we have a pretty easy sideboard plan here. All right, at long last, our opponent figured out how to sideboard. We'll keep this hand. It's pretty good. We need black mana, but we should be able to find that eventually, and we can spell Seeker for a card draw potentially. All right, so turn 1, Island, Mana Vault, go. And we could Spellseeker on turn 2 if we want, but I don't think that's worth it. We need to find some more lands, first of all. But I'm thinking we could go like Brainstorm and then Spellseeker if we don't draw lands as a way to shuffle away some of these cards that we don't really need till later. Interesting. I think we just want to play Chart a Course this turn. Okay, nice. Let's discard Cabal Ritual and pass. I want to fill up my graveyard as much as possible to get Threshold for Cabal Ritual and to make Yawgmoth's Will better. Triome. I think I'm just going to go Island Spellseeker this turn. If they counter it, they counter it. That's fine. All right, it resolves. We could get High Tide or we could get Card Draw. Probably don't want to get High Tide yet. I think there's an argument for just getting Ancestral Vision. Or we could get like Ponder or Manamorphose. Let's get Manamorphose, I think. That sets us up well for our Yawgmoth's Will turn. If we just play Draw Go while we're slowly shaping our hand and hitting land drops, that's exactly what this deck wants to be doing. Dak Faden. That's too bad. So they can steal this. In response, we can tap it and then kill the Dak Faden. But it does mean we lose our Mana Vault, which is pretty unfortunate. I think I'm going to... Well, we have a few options here. Probably best just to get this land into play. Yeah, we'll get this land into play. We really want to have a land that can make other colors, and the fact that this is also an island, so it works with High Tide, is very nice. The Nurturing Peatland I'm less interested in, though, so we'll probably shuffle that away with a Brainstorm. Nissa. Okay, that's pretty slow. Don't care too much about that. All right, I'm going to main phase Brainstorm here just in case we hit something Sorcery Speed we want to play. Ooh, some good cards there. Let's put back these two, and I think I will shuffle them away, grabbing another island. We could also just draw the island on top. It depends if they make us use the Mana Leak. If we can just play Draw Go, holding up Mana Leak and hitting land drops, that's good, with a turnabout in hand in particular. But if they make us use the Mana Leak, then we probably need to do something a little bit more proactive. Plow Under is not a card that we can allow to resolve. We will certainly be mana leaking that. And now I will crack the Prismatic Vista to shuffle away the lands. Blooming Marsh. Yeah, I'll put that into play this turn. And pass. I'm not even going to hit for 1. In fact, we might want to just chump block the Nissa this turn. There is some argument to keeping this around to get Charted Course to be card advantage, but I don't really think card advantage will matter at that point in the game. Like, the turn we're going for it, just seeing 2 new cards is all that matters. And we want to fill up our graveyard for Cabal Ritual. If we were to try to go for it next turn and they had no interaction, how far could we go? So we start by playing Manamorphose. We play Turnabout, netting us 3 mana, so then we have 10. We play Yawgmoth's Will, going down to 7. Then we can play Spellseeker going down to 4, High Tide. Yeah, I think if they just put all their mana into the Hex Drinker, I will go for it here. It's not guaranteed we can make it, but oh, just don't have opposition. Okay, nice. Do they leave up Spell Pierce? They do. I think we still need to go for it, though. This is our best window when they're tapped out. Or tapped very low. They're not, like, next turn they can flip their Nissa, look at a couple more cards. I don't think we want to deal with that. Ponder. Interesting. Do we want to play that first? Very high upside if we find a mana doubler. I think it is worth it. We still have enough mana for Turnabout. We don't want those, so let's shuffle. Interesting. Land. Manamorphose. I think making black green. Garruk Relentless is quite bad. Let's turn about ourselves. Land. Untap. Now we play Yawgmoth's Will. Cabal Ritual. Okay, now let's go Manamorphose for blue-green. There's the High Tide, okay. So we play High Tide. Now we turn about ourselves again. Land, untap. Let's play Ponder. We actually already have lethal, but I'm going to make this as big as possible just because I want to. Alright, repeal is good. Repeal meant this. Then we'll play the Mana Vault. We'll play Chart a Course. Discard land. We'll play Spellseeker. Actually, we'll Brainstorm first. Put back 2 lands. Spellseeker. Alright, do we have anything at all that's relevant here? I mean, we could get Oblivion Stone, but I think basically if they have an Eldrazi, then we die, and if they don't, they die. So we'll take Probe. We'll probe them for light or for mana because we have plenty. They're holding Spell Pierce and Opposition. That's kind of funny. Let's play Signet. Garrick. And then we will Brain Freeze you. And we even have Mana Leak available if we somehow need it. But really, it just comes down to if they have an Eldrazi. Hopefully they don't. That is a lot of Brain Freezes. Alright, Moment of Truth. Do they have it? Sort of funny that these are literally the only two, I guess, well, yeah, these are like the 4 best pieces of interaction in their deck against us. They did draw all 4, but they didn't have enough pressure, and we drew pretty well. So we were able to do our thing. If our thing doesn't win, our thing doesn't win. That's life. Okay, we do win. Nice. All right, do we want to make any changes on the draw? We could just play Upheaval. Maybe Upheaval is just a better version of Oblivion Stone, actually. And then do we want to make any other changes? I do think Cabal Ritual is pretty necessary. It was very good for us there. Maybe we cut the Garrick. They saw it. Yeah, actually, I think this is better. Let's play 2 things to clear the board and buy us time. And then the rest just our main combo plan, which we now know is a winning plan against them. Okay, I'm going to risk this. It has a fail rate, but we have a lot of looks at the land. And if we hit 1, then we can chart a course in addition to Brainstorm. And we'll fill our graveyard pretty quickly for the dig through time. Oh no! Oh my gosh, I just thought that this land was a blue source. Ooh, well, island off the top. Yes! That was pretty lucky. I think if this was a blue source, it's a good keep, but this land actually does not produce blue mana. It's just a green-black land for our purposes. There is some tension between Dig Through Time and Yawgmoth's Will, so we might want to discard one of them to the chart, of course. They miss a land drop, okay. Let's chart. This is close. I think we discard Dig Through Time. Yeah, let's discard the Dig. And we'll pass. I guess we could have also discarded Mind's Desire. Okay, they get their land. Derogatory Speaker, so they have a lot of things now. Land, not bad. Let's just play... Actually, we're going to hold off for now. We're going to play just Signet and pass holding Mana Leak available. And then we can Brainstorm plus Spellseeker next turn to really shape our hand. The card we most want is Turnabout with the Heartbeat in hand, but we might just get Spellseeker, or we might still want to just get High Tide with the Spellseeker to make as much mana as possible. All right, yep, they level up the Tree Speaker. No repeal this time, unfortunately. They have 4 mana. Notably, they don't have double blue, so they can't play opposition. There's some argument to just holding Mana Leak for opposition, but I think in this case, we need to use our mana efficiently. If we had land drops to hit, that would be one thing, but we need to be making proactive moves here. Maelstrom pulls the Signet. That is worth the Mana Leak. Hex Drinker. Okay. Some decent pressure. We'll take 2. There's the turnabout. So let's brainstorm, hoping to hit land. Nice. Okay, what do we not want? This is pretty interesting. I think we put back Mind's Desire. And Xander's Lounge. Because I would rather get some untapped lands going. Yeah. Then we'll play Spellseeker. Grabbing High Tide. Now, if they just go Island opposition, we probably can't win. But if they don't have that, next turn we might be able to do it. So, okay, let's start thinking ahead because there's going to be a very complicated turn coming up. We can go, say we don't draw a land, worst case scenario. We use the Triome that's not an island to float mana for Simic Signet. Oh, that's too bad. If they just level up Hex Drinker, though, it's okay. I just really don't want them to hit opposition or Plow Under. Okay. So we make 2 mana with Simic Signet, use one of them for High Tide. We have 3 islands. Tap them all, so we have 7 mana. I'm just going to chump block here. We have 7 mana. Play Turnabout, which we can do through spell. No. Well, okay. They just... Oh, yeah, they pass back to themselves. We start with High Tide. No, do we want to start with Heartbeat? If we start with Heartbeat of Spring... No, let's start with High Tide. Start with High Tide. Sorry, this is complicated, but yeah. So we do that. Tap all our lands. We have 7 mana. We play No, we tap 1 land. Okay, sorry. Into the Triome to make mana with Simic Signet. Play High Tide. Tap 1 island for 2 mana. Play Heartbeat of Spring. Tap the other 2 islands for 3 mana each. So we have 6. We can play Turnabout through Spell Pierce. Then most of our lands are tripled. And then we can play Yawgmoth's Will and play everything from our graveyard and play Mind's Desire, and that should be enough to win. Whew, alright. Complicated there, but I think we have the kill, unless they have, even through Spell Pierce, unless they have something very strange I'm not thinking of. They only have 1 card, though. And if we draw an extra land, then it's no problem at all. Guys, Cradle, yep, they got a lot of stuff over there, but none of it cares about my Brain Freeze. Actually, I guess my Brain Freeze doesn't care about any of it. We want to make sure we get an island here. Swamp Forest Island. Alright, so make some mana. Play High Tide. Make some mana. Play Heartbeat of Spring. Make some mana. play Turnabout. We'll go land, untap. Then we will play Yawgmoth's Will. Let's play High Tide. Let's play Brainstorm. Put back 2 spells, whatever. Then we'll go Island. We could play the Verdant Catacombs, but I would rather just have a normal island. Let's shuffle with Spellseeker. We'll just grab the High Tide, or the Brain Freeze, rather. Then we'll go make some mana, Turnabout ourselves, land, untap. We'll play Chart a Course. We'll play Dig Through Time. Manamorphose, Repeal. In the order, we'll play Manamorphose. Make blue. Repeal. Draw a Tree Speaker. We will play... And okay, now let's just go for it. We'll play Mind's Desire. And this will let us cast our entire deck, and then we can Brain Freeze them. There's the Upheaval. Nice. All right, we'll play this. Play this. Play Probe targeting them. What they got? They're holding opposition, but they didn't have double blue. Hilarious. And now we'll just play Brain Freeze. And we can kill them now because we can use the Ancestral to target them. We could have obviously made the storm much bigger even, but no need. All right, the last of their cards are gone. The rest of the Brain Freezes have no targets. Then for full style points, we'll go Ponder. Shuffle our library, draw it. Then we'll play Upheaval. Wait, what? They have 1 card in their deck somehow? I don't really get how that happened. I don't know. Oh, Green Sun Zenith keeps on shuffling in. But now we'll play Ancestral Vision targeting you. GG. Wow, that is quite a game. I'm going to screenshot this. Storm count of exactly 22. That's also pretty awesome. Turn 6, no permanents. And I love that we both have 0 cards in library. All right, we're 1-0. Maybe this deck's actually broken. We'll see. I'll see you in round 2. All right, we have our opponent for round 2. We're currently 1-0 with Sultai Storm and hoping to keep the winning streak alive. This hand is mana heavy, but it's a keep. I think I am going to lead on the Xander's Lounge unless we draw yet another land. Yeah, we really want to put lands into play with this deck. And this is a great land too. The fact that it's an island and a black source is very helpful. Inquisition of Kozilek. Alright. They take the seal. Good draw. I think we're just going to play that, so we'll go Blooming Marsh, suspend, and pass. OMG. OMG. It's Benny! That's awesome. We're playing against black-green over there. If they're just like straight up black-green mid-range, it should be a pretty good matchup. Their removal spells won't line up well with our deck, and they'll have some discard, but I think we can overcome that. But if they're playing like Leovold, that would be bad. Wow, dude, where's the mono white? I have not played actually nearly as much mono white in this this iteration of the cube so far as in past formats. I feel like it's been a little bit less ridiculously open. Maybe I just haven't been keeping my eye out for it as much, but I felt like other colors have seemed more open than in the past, and I think people might be adjusting a little bit because they realized white was so underdrafted. All right, another island. Let's just play the Signet and pass. That's what they're saying when they say they played the wrong land. This could be a Mind Twist for 2. Oh, Pest Infestation. Okay, that's a little annoying. It's not too bad, but it does give them some semblance of pressure. Ooh. Okay, I don't like that. That speeds up the clock a lot. So we're taking 6 damage, and they're drawing a card. Alright, a lot of lands over here. I believe this is coming off next turn, though, so we could either wait. We might be able to just wait one more turn or go for it next turn. And by go for it, I mean basically that is entirely relying on drawing good stuff off of... okay, well, that forces our hand. We're going for it. We need to draw some good things off of this Ancestral Vision. We have a lot of good draws, and we have a lot of mana with High Tide. So we definitely could do it, but we need to get a little bit lucky. All right, Moment of Truth. What do we get? That's pretty bad. But we only have one option. Let's go for it. There's not even a way we could survive by trying to do anything with Repeal. So we'll crack to thin one land out of the deck. Grab another island. Play High Tide. And now we can play Birds of Paradise and then bounce the birds back to our hand. Oh, we can't replay it though because we don't have double green at the moment. So does that mean we want to repeal the pest token or play birds first? Anyway, birds. So we could repeal our own birds still, and then if we hit Manamorphose, I think just Manamorphose, then we could cast that. Right now we can just go, I guess we could go repeal. So that'd be Storm 3. Birds of Paradise, Mana Leak and Birds of Paradise, Brain Freeze for 6. That's not enough. We need to hit at least one more thing. I think I'm just going to repeal a token. And we need to hit a spell we can cast here. There's the Metamorphose. Okay, so then we play Metamorphose for green-black. Probe, okay. I think we have it now. Spellseeker, another good draw. They have Endurance. Oh no, they have Endurance! No! Okay, wait. That means we need to keep Mana Leak available. Alright, do we have enough mana for that? So we can play Birds of Paradise, Spellseeker. Do we have enough for Spellseeker? We need to have 4 mana available. So if we play Spellseeker, we go down to exactly 4. Yeah, so that should do it. So we play Spellseeker. Oh, we can get Cabal Ritual, actually. And add another Storm and still have enough blue mana left over. Alright, Storm is now 8, so this should do it, exactly. Oh my gosh, what a crazy game. So Brain Freeze you. With Mana Leak available to stop the Endurance. They might not see the Endurance line too, that's a pretty tricky line, but we do have it covered even if they do see it. We got pretty lucky draws there for sure. Like Metamorphose into Probe is just like 2 free spells. So we're playing against green-black, just straight up green-black it looks like. Deathly Voidwalker is pretty good against us, so is Thoughtseize. Oh, wait, no. I forgot that they don't need the Metamorphose, they don't need a Mana Leak now. Oh, no. Okay, well, we got a little bit lucky there. They could have played Endurance in their upkeep and put their graveyard on the bottom of their library. But we still did a pretty sweet thing on turn 6. I think we earned the win there. That seems fine. Yeah, wow, crazy game. Could be a pretty rough matchup, honestly. They're playing a lot of discard. Collective Brutality, Hymn to Torok, Thoughtseize, Inquisition. And Gaunty can just wreck us if they hit our Brain Freeze, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get there. Does Phantasmal Image buy us enough time? I don't think so. Does Oblivion Stone? Probably. Could play this over... actually, no. They have some ways to kill it. Yeah, I think we just want to run back to main deck. Let's submit like this. Alright, pretty solid hand. We will keep. Alright, there's a Hex Drinker. Alright, that resolved. I'm very sorry. I need to send them one quick message. Alright, that was a really good draw. We can just play that on turn 1. It's an island for a high tide. Really helps to solidify the mana. Now, if they just go all in on Hex Drinker, I think we can probably race that. They have Inquisition, though. That's kind of bad. Taking Brainstorm. Interesting. Alright, best draw here would be Repeal. That would buy us a lot of time. High Tide, okay. Let's play Island and Chart. And I might just discard this Blooming Marsh. Ooh, discarding Echo of Eons. Then next turn we can play Spellseeker and find Cabal Ritual probably. Okay, if this is their whole plan, I like our chances. Probe, really good draw. So Spellseeker. We could get so it's too late now for the repeal. We could get. I mean, yeah, probably just Cabal Ritual. Skull Clamp, okay. We're just gonna chump block here. And I think we have potentially 2 draws. Yeah, let's try and wait one more turn. Or we're definitely waiting one more turn. We might try to wait one more turn after that. That being a non-island is too bad, but it's still better than no land. Wasteland. That is really, really bad. We got lucky, though, that they hit this land. We won our islands here more than anything, but that's still pretty disastrous. They're going to hit us for 7, and then we have to go for it this turn, despite the fact that we don't have as many lands as we want. We could turn about their creatures to buy one more turn, but that's worse than just having the turnabout. Okay, so... Oh, wait, we're not dead. I'm bored. Or we have another turn. Okay, nice. Let's wait one more turn then. That'll give us a lot more mana. It'll give us 4 more mana just to wait one more turn, because it'll be doubled twice with High Tide and Turnabout, at least, and maybe even more. So hopefully they're just leveling this up all the way, and then we can go for it. We take 6. Alright, that's not really what we needed, but that's okay. We have 5 cards in the graveyard. So we'll go land, probe you going down to 1. No interaction. Oh, they have Hymn to Torque, but they don't have double black. Wow. Now we'll play High Tide. Now we have 7 cards in the graveyard, so this should do what we want it to. Alright, and then we will Manamorphose to turn some of this mana into blue. Adding blue-green. Then we will turn about ourselves. We'll go land, untap. And now we could play Mind's Desire or play Echo of Eons. I think we play Mind's Desire first, though. Yeah, let's play the Mind's Desire, and we can play the Echo if we really need to, if we brick on the Mind's Desire. Repeal. Oh, man, these are some bricks. Okay, that's a good hit. Hydroid Crisis is not a good hit. Okay, so we'll cast this. Look at the top 7. That was actually really bad, but okay, nice. So we get Brain Freeze plus Yawgmoth's Will, and that should be enough. Unless we want to try to get Mana Leak to play around them having the Endurance and remembering it this time. But then we don't have enough to win, right? We have Storm of 7, so that wouldn't be lethal. So I think we need to get Yawgmoth's Will. And maybe we could actually get Yawgmoth's Will Mana Leak, though. And then find Brain Freeze off of Spellseeker. Yeah, I think we should be able to do that, because we can make a lot of mana. Just cast this for the Storm. Then we'll go Yawgmoth's Will. Cabal Ritual. Manamorphose. Make some blue. Manavolt. Yeah, we should definitely have this here. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we have the mana leak available. Oh, no, we have Turnabout. I was thinking we wouldn't have the mana that we need, but we do. So let's do this. This. High Tide. Turnabout. Land. Untap. Then we can go Brainstorm. Put back some lands. We'll play Spellseeker. Grab Brain Freeze. Our deck is just terrible now. We'll just drop the birds into play and Brain Freeze them. And then we can pass holding up Mana Leak so we can beat Endurance. Alright, that's a lot of Brain Freezes targeting them. Wow. Are we about to be 2-0 with Storm? There's the Endurance, so they didn't have it I guess we actually knew they didn't have it in their hand. Yeah, sweet, we get there. They have Life from the Loam in the yard, but that will not do it for them. A lot of extra Brain Freezes here. Don't care about the mana loss. We just pass with Mana Leak available and win the game on their draw step. Alright, sweet. We are 2-0. This is not the kind of deck that I normally play, not the kind that I normally trophy with, but I'm pretty excited. I'll see you in the finals. Alright, we have our opponent for the finals. Playing against Gauze, and unfortunately we're on the draw. Hopefully we play against more green decks, though. That is probably generally your best matchup with Storm, and so it's therefore lucky we've played against it twice. Oh, playing against another fan. That's awesome. Wow, that's awesome. I'd love to see that. All right. Very, very happy to see that level of support from someone. That is great. This hand, however, is not great. We have Ancestral Vision on turn 2. Yeah, this is just too bad. We need better lands. This I will keep, and I'm going to put back the Probe because the birds because we don't have a green source. Playing against black. Do they have the Thoughtseize? They have the Duress. All right. High Tide is gone. That's definitely the right take from the opponent. Ponder. Not a bad draw. We're not going to play this turn, but that's decent. So we'll see. Hopefully they're playing a slow deck and we can have time to rebuild. Like, discard into pressure is bad. If they play Doughty Voidwalker this turn, we basically can't win. But if they have a slower draw, maybe hit us with like one more discard spell, hold a couple removal spells, that's the kind of draw we can beat. Okay, Signets, fine. Alright, I'm just going to play another Triome here. Pass back. Mesmeric Fiend. Okay, they're coming after our hand. Taking Ponder. Okay. I mean, if we can just put lands into play and take a bunch more draw steps, we can always rebuild. a pretty good draw. We could fire off a probe early, but I would like to save it for the Mind's Desire turn if possible. And this isn't a situation where we desperately need a card right now. We're still hitting our land drop. We have Mana Leak. They don't have a board that is like pressuring our life total too much. So I think we can just play draw go. Ooh. That is something that I will Mana Leak for sure. So presumably they hit us for 1 and pass, and then we play draw go. I really wish we had more like Fact or Fiction type cards. That would be very good here. Our best draw would probably be Spellseeker, and we just go Spellseeker for Ancestral Vision and suspend that. They have another play. What is this? Collective Brutality. All right, fair enough. Really shredding our hand here. But we're still at 20. Uh-oh. Okay, that's some pressure. Still not that much pressure, though. They're dealing 4 damage a turn, so we have 4 draws as it currently stands. I'm going to hold that 2 just in case. Take 4. Manamorphose. All right, still not going to play that yet. Let's wait as long as we can before we start committing our cards, which makes a future storm count hard. Okay, that is a good draw. Do we just go for it this turn? It's interesting. So we have a few options. One option is to just play all our cantrips and play Echo of Eons this turn and set up to and just like have as much mana as we can and set up to win next turn. They're pretty likely to draw some discard though if we do that. I wish we could get the Echo of Eons into our graveyard, but we can't really. We could just like not even go for Echo of Eons this turn, just play Probe for mana and see that the coast is clear. Actually, I think I am going to do this. We're going to play Probe for mana and set up to Echo in like 2 turns probably. Nice. We hit a land. That's what we wanted. They're holding removal, which is what we expected. We'll play that. Let's get the Mana Vault into play and then pass. So if they draw a land, we have to go for it. But if they don't draw a land, we might be able to wait 1 more turn. But it's a real bummer that the High Tide's gone. If we had this High Tide still, we could easily Echo of Eons with enough mana to go off. But as it stands, if we play Echo, we're only going to have 3 mana left over. And that probably will not be enough. Demonic Tutor. Now, this is kind of funny. If they get Mind Twist, it actually helps us a lot because we want Echo of Eons to be in our graveyard. And Mind Twist is a pretty likely card for them to be getting here. Time Walk. Okay. That's also pretty good. It doesn't kill us, but they put us to 2, and we definitely need to go for it next turn. They drew the land, so we know they don't have any interaction. They're just going to slam Grave Titan and make us have it. And I don't think we do have it, but it's not impossible. We need to draw a High Tide Turnabout, basically. But if we do draw a High Tide Turnabout, I like our chances. We go to 2, and then we make our move. Oh! All right, we have a plan. Mana Vault. Manamorphose. Let's make blue. Repeal is also decent because we can repeal our own mana vault for value. So let's do that first. Spellseeker. All right, I think we have it now. So let's go. I think we want to Yawgmoth's Will now and play High Tide as soon as possible. So we'll play this. Play the High Tide. Play Manamorphose for black-green. Island. Repeal this. Play it. Simic Signet. We'll probe them. And then we need to have mana for Spellseeker plus High Tide. Do we have enough for Mind's Desire and all that? No, we don't. So let's just play Spellseeker. Or Brain Freeze, sorry. I keep on saying Brain Freeze instead of High Tide, but you know what I mean. Grab our Brain Freeze. And Brain Freeze you for lethal unless you have an Eldrazi. All right, so we pass back to them. We get to see their entire deck. So they're playing like Esper Beatdown. This is a pretty good matchup also, I think. They have a lot of removal, which is bad against us. But Ashiok literally just wins. Like, if they just Ashiok plus hit Brain Freeze, we lose on the spot. And there's not much we can do about that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But then the rest of their deck, like Bitter Blossom, Liliana, these are all like slow value cards with a lot of removal. Their only interaction for us is they do have some discard. Duress, Hymn to Torok, Collective Brutality. They have Mana Leak. They have tutors to find those things. And then I guess like Riftwind Cloudscape to bounce something. But Ashiok is the real killer. We just need them to not Ashiok us. What do we want to change, if anything? I think we just want to run it back as is in this matchup. It isn't an Oblivion Stone matchup. Assassin's Trophy is an answer to Ashiok. Actually, yeah, that seems decent. We can bring in the trophy and cut. There's definitely a matchup where we want Hydroid Krasis. I think we want the Signet. I don't think I want to cut a land. Let's cut Birds of Paradise, actually. They have a lot of removal, so it's almost always going to die. Yeah, that seems like a great cut. We'll run it like this. All right, fighting for the trophy. Can we get there? We have a really good hand. We'll definitely keep it. These aren't cards we really want in the opener. If you have no ways to shuffle your graveyard into your deck, this hand would be a huge liability and we would have to mulligan because we would just die to turn 1 Inquisition. But we have both Yawgmoth's Will to cast it from the graveyard and Echo of Eons to shuffle it in. So I think it's fine here. Do they have the turn 1 discard spell? No, they do not. Baleful Strix, don't really care about that. Alright, probably going to be discarding that Nurturing Peatland. Let's play Chart. Yep, discard this. Duress. Okay, so they can take our Brain Freeze or our Turnabout. I think those are the only 2 reasonable picks here. Well, actually, I don't know. I could see it being probed. I would probably take Turnabout if I was in their position. Especially since we don't have Frantic Search. They don't know that, but the fact that Turnabout's our only way to untap lands is kind of rough. But Hydroid Krasis is actually the card that they might be most annoyed by. And they can't take that. So we can play that on turn 4 to cycle and trade with the Strix while gaining a bit of life. I don't think they should take Brain Freeze. Okay, they take the turnabout. Yeah, good play by the opponent. And we'll take 1. Don't really care about that. Another island is a fine draw. Frantic Search, okay. I wish I had that Frantic Search. They're deep in thought about what to discard. Hopefully that means they didn't find the discard spells they were looking for. Grave Titan, Soulfire Grandmaster. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright. They have the Ashiok. That's probably just going to kill us. We can't really kill the Ashiok unless we just top deck the one of Assassin's Trophy. So what are our outs here? I honestly don't think there is anything realistically. Maybe if we just top, like if they just have literally nothing and we draw... Well, okay, one out is just to draw Assassin's Trophy, and then we just kill the Ashiok and set up for a normal long game. But if we need to go for a Storm off pretty soon, we need to find High Tide into Yawgmoth's Will pretty much immediately. Looks like Collective Brutality here, which probably ends any chance that we had. They can take... I think I would take Probe here and just stick me with the 2 Storm cards. They take Mind's Desire, okay. They still haven't hit any of our key cards. Honestly, most of those would have been bad draws. We need to find High Tide and Yawgmoth's Will, like I said. That's still the case, and we still have a few live draws in this deck of ours. Mana Leak, not really good enough. Okay, we lost High Tide. I don't want to say that's game over, but it's not good. Ophiomancer, definitely don't care about that. We won't Mana Leak that. We're going to lose to the mill way before we lose to Beatdown. Another basic island, okay. Next turn, the Ashiok will kill us. Or it'll ultimate, -10, which will essentially kill us. We lose our hands in graveyard. There's nothing we can do after that. So we need to top deck something this turn. They still didn't hit Yawgmoth's Will. But Yawgmoth's Will might not even be enough anymore with High Tide gone. I mean, I guess we technically do have 2 draws. So if we hit Yawgmoth's Will into Heartbeat of Spring, we could have a chance. Oh, wait, we can Mana Leak this. Okay, nice. Okay, Bitter Blossom doesn't matter. This is the key turn. We need to draw... Yeah, like I said, we got to draw 2 good things here. 1 will not be enough, but if we get 2, maybe. Manamorphose is a good start. Let's probe them. Repeal. We could repeal Ashiok and just buy time. Yeah, let's repeal Ashiok. Well, I guess are we going for it this turn? If we really want to go for it this turn, we would much rather repeal a snake to save mana. Save mana. We would need to get the Storm of 8, which is a long way away. Let's start with a Manamorphose for both of our green cards are gone, so I'll just do blue-black. Echo of Eons, interesting. So do we want to just bank on our top card being Yawgmoth's Will? I mean, honestly, we can actually afford... if we draw Yawgmoth's Will later, that's fine. So I think it actually is better for me to just repeal the Ashiok here. If it is exactly Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, it's not even the Yawgmoth's Will. So that's fine. We pass back. We're not going to Storm Kill them this turn. We're going to try to draw Yawgmoth's Will. They're going to get to hit 3 more cards of ours with Ashiok, of course. And if they hit Yawgmoth's Will, I'll concede. But if they hit 3 non-Yawgmoth's Will cards and then we top deck the Will, we could win this still. In fact, I actually think we would win, but that would require a lot to go right. It means Yawgmoth's Will has to be our 4th card from the top, specifically. I guess Heartbeat of Spring could maybe do it too. If we play Heartbeat, play Echo with two lands left over, and then draw into Turnabout. Yep, there's the Ashiok. We'll see what they hit. Hopefully just lands. They hit the Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, so that probably will kill us. Again, there's a very slim chance. If we hit Heartbeat of Spring, we could win. Ancestral Vision. Okay, so we can Assassin's Trophy the Ashiok and still survive at 2 and get 1 more turn. And then I think we just suspend this Ancestral Vision so it's not in our deck anymore because it would be a total brick to draw. I'm going to draw step this. We're dying to Mana Leak either way, and I want to maximize the chance of them drawing a land. Black, green, Assassin's Trophy or Ashiok. And so now our plan is to draw Heartbeat of Spring this turn and go off with Echo of Eons. Fact or Fiction, okay. Well, we actually want them to play him to Torok. How do I bait them into playing him to Torok instead of Mesmeric Fiend? I guess just put him to Torok with like a pretty good pile, like maybe this. Yeah, let's do this. And if they take the Mesmeric Fiend pile, we do die. They don't necessarily know that. Okay, they took the 3, which I think makes sense from their perspective. It's like, oh yeah, you put your opponent down to no cards. But now we do have a chance. Actually, now we don't even necessarily need to draw a Heartbeat to be in this game. but it would make it much more likely. Well, that actually does it. So let's play Brainstorm. We get to just draw all 3 cards and then find our heartbeat. This is kind of interesting. We can dig through time and then set our graveyard, set it so that we draw whatever cards we want. So if we were to do that line, we dig through time, then we have so then we'd have 5 lands left over. Play Heartbeat. Play Mana Vault, Heartbeat. Oh, all right. This is actually big brain time. Ooh, big brain time. So we keep dig through time. We need to also assume that we can delve away enough cards that this works. But I'm not going to think about that first. So we go dig through time. Then we have 5 lands untapped. We obviously dig into Mana Vault plus Heartbeat of Spring. Tap 1 of the lands for Mana Vault. We have 4 lands untapped. Tap 1 more land plus the Mana Vault for Heartbeat. We have 3 lands untapped and 1 mana floating. And then we can play Heartbeat of Spring. Then we can flashback the Echo of Eons. And we'll have, I believe, 7 mana. And we can set it so that we draw Turnabout. Yeah, this should work. We draw Turnabout. Or we draw exactly the cards we want because we're delving away 6. So we can literally set it so that it's perfect. Wait. We need to make sure we have enough cards to draw with Echo of Eons. Oh, but the Brain Freeze is going to the graveyard. So, oh my gosh. Actually, no. Either way, even if we have to tap 1 more land, that's fine. So we want to take the Dig Through Time into these. Because it gets rid of the fail rate of us not hitting the cards that we need. Brain Freeze is in our graveyard, right? Yeah, so let's go top, Dig Through Time, delving away all the cards we don't want. Wait. The fact that all these cantrips, all these cards draw a card is going to be a problem. Oh no. Yeah, that's actually a really big mistake. Can we win if we pay an extra land to leave an extra card in the graveyard? No. Actually, what we need to do is just delve away all the other stuff. So, like, keep Assassin's Trophy just as a thing. We definitely can't play Brainstorm, so let's get rid of that. Mind's Desire is too expensive. Chart, of course, we're not going to be able to play. We can mana leak our own thing, potentially. This is so weird. Well, okay, I want to make sure we have the right amount of lands. So if we were to pay 1 more land, I don't think we could do it. Because then we would only have 4 lands untapped. We tap 1 for Mana Vault, go down to 3 lands untapped. No, that would work. So we can actually afford to pay 1 more land. So we'll do that. And then also do Repeal as the last exile. Okay. Hit these 2. Play Mana Vault. Wait. Oh no, this doesn't work. Wait. We have... Oh, no. It doesn't work. Oh, I forgot that I was not counting the 3 mana for Echo of Eons. That's frustrating. So, yeah, the Dig Through Timeline was overly greedy. Oh, man. So, yeah, we can't quite do it. If I had 2 more mana, we totally could have. I'm actually not sure if it would have won if we hadn't played Dig Through Time, though. If we just took... Well, yeah, it would have been up to chance. If we had just played the Heartbeat, we could have won if we got lucky. I was trying to make it so that we didn't need to get lucky. But, yeah, paying that extra mana really hurt us. Because if we had one more untapped land, we could play Turnabout, untap all our lands, and then kill them. But now we have the Turnabout in our hand, but that's not enough. We can probe them, but we can't even pay the life. All right, so we lose that game. Again, I think we win that game we're like over 50% to win if we just don't take the Dig Through Time and just go for the straightforward line of Heartbeat into Echo of Yuns. But we almost overcame the Ashiok and couldn't quite do it. So we need to be on the play for game 3, still in the hunt for the trophy. Wow, what a game. All right, what a battle there. Let's try to win game 3, right the ship, and get that trophy. I'm going to keep this hand. It's light on lands, but we have Probe plus Brainstorm to hit land drops, and turn 1 Ancestral Vision is the best start in most matchups, but certainly against discard decks. Yeah, if there's someone who's better at playing Storm than me, comment if I had the kill there. I don't think I did still, but it's possible. Our opponent is not thrilled with their 6. We'll see if they go down to 5. Alright, they do keep the 6. Hopefully it's a Ashiok-less 6. Now, normally I like to save my cantrips as long as possible to set up a better storm count for Mind's Desire, but if we don't draw a land, I'm just going to fire off Probe into Brainstorm and give myself 4 more looks at another land. Fiend's Tower, okay. Nice. That can only get tapped lands, but I'm still going to play Brainstorm and, yeah, get rid of some of these bad cards. Now we can hit land drops and just be good to go. And then next turn we'll have Mana Leak available for Ashiok if they go for that. Just pass. No need to play anything. Or you could play a Bitter Blossom. That's fine. Duress. Well, they might just have Duress into Ashiok, which would probably kill us. So I guess, just thinking one last thought about the last game, I paid 1 extra mana for Delve that ended up being very bad. But if we hadn't paid that, we would have had 1 more land untapped. There would have been 2 mana because of Heartbeat of Spring. But we would have delved away 1 card. So then the question is if we could have had a high enough Storm count. Because Repeal, Metamorphose, and Probe all would have drawn a card, so we couldn't use any of those for our Storm. So would we have been able to win from that position? I'm not sure. That's I guess, the most relevant question that determines whether or not we made the right play there and going for the Delve. Spellseeker, good draw. I think we just want to jam that. And I'm going to get Chart a Course. I don't want them to play a discard spell on one of our really key cards. I just want to keep the cards flowing. This is best against anything other than Ashiok. We could also just get Assassin's Trophy, I guess. Actually, let's do that. This insulates us against the worst case scenario, and I think if they don't have Ashiok, we have the Ancestral ticking down. We're in a pretty good spot. I guess they could go another discard spell plus Ashiok, but at a certain point, like, you got it. That's fine. Do they have it? Please don't. Please don't. Okay, that is totally fine. Kills our Spellseeker, but doesn't interact with us in any other way. So we'll just take our draw step, play tap land, Signet, and set up to draw 4 cards on our turn 5. There's a world where getting this Assassin's Trophy instead of Charter Course will hurt us, but I think it was still the right play. Nighthawk Scavenger. Okay, that's somewhat of a clock, but it's not that bad. Although I guess this Ancestral will make it a 5-power creature. I wouldn't mind a repeal. Whoa. Okay, those are some good ones. If we play Hydroid Krasis for 4, they can make it so that it doesn't trade with the Nighthawk, with the Liliana anymore, but I think that's still the play. Yeah, it's almost definitely the play. So we draw some cards, gain some life. We'll pass it back. And now we have the Imperial Seal, Gataxian Probe combo, so we can draw whatever card we want, which would either be Turnabout or Yawgmoth's Will. I think we're in a really good spot. We don't have Mana Leak, which means we could just get really weakened by a Hymn to Torok or something. But right now I think we're in a solid position. Hopefully this is a Bitter Blossom or something. Okay, Demonic Tutor, so they can get Mesmeric Fiend and hit our High Tide. But we have Repeal, so we can bounce that end of turn. They could also get Inquisition of Kozilek, which would be probably, I don't know, not probably less bad for us, actually. There's also the line of repeal our own, like if they go Inquisition, take High Tide or something, and they're really just attacking our hand hard, we could go repeal our own Hydroid Krasis and then replay the Krasis to draw even more cards. So they might have just Demonic Tutor for Ashiok. And if they plus and hit Brain Freeze, we just die on the spot. So there is some risk of that. They might have just gotten Hymn to Torok. Tide Hollow Sculler, okay. So there's some pressure on them to just take the repeal, because otherwise we can cast the repeal, draw a card, and still get whatever they put under it. And then we'll need to decide if we want to play Mana Vault or hold it in our hand. It's close, but I think it's probably slightly better to play it. I think we're less likely to be one storm away from winning than we are to be one mana away from winning, especially when there's all this weird mana doubling stuff and having the right colors and whatnot. So having to tap an island for Mana Vault could be annoying. They take the High Tide, so we definitely need to get that back. So the question is just if we want to make our move this turn or next turn. So one play is to go Island, Imperial Seal, Mana Vault, pass. Another play is to just pass and save our storm. If we get Yawgmoth's Will, though, we don't actually have, like, infinite mana generation. We don't have Turnabout. So I think mana actually will be a bit of a limiting factor. So I think we might just want to play the Mana Vault and the Imperial Seal this turn. Still grabbing Yawgmoth because that can get more card draw. And then we'll go for it there. Yeah, so we'll go land, Mana Vault, and Imperial Seal. Grabbing Yawgmoth's Will. And I'm going to block the Nighthawk Scavenger with the Hydroid Crisis because our plan is to go for it this turn, almost no matter what. Well, I guess we could take one more draw step, maybe. Like, we could just go end of turn, repeal the Nighthawk Scavenger. And then we would have a little bit more time. And we could still have Assassin's Trophy to kill the Tidehollow Sculler. That does run the risk, though, of them having a discard spell. Right now, if they play a discard spell, we have two ways to get back our High Tide, and we could still do it. But we can't really win without that High Tide, so... Oh, wait. I should have just gotten Heartbeat of Spring. Well, High Tide might be better. It's close. What's the argument in favor of waiting a turn, I guess? We just get to put one more land into play, maybe. Get one more draw step. I think if they tap out, we should just go for it. Hardcast Shriekmaw, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it this turn. I mean, we might be able to survive another turn, but that just... It runs too many risks. There's a lot of things that could change, and this is just a pretty good window right here. So we'll take the 7. Go to 7. 7's actually a pretty nice life total, too. There's a good chance we'll need to pay 6 life. Paying for Nurturing Peatland twice and 2 probes. We can't do Imperial Seal, though, I guess, if that happens. But let's go repeal on your Tidehollow Sculler. We get back our High Tide. Now we untap and hopefully draw something good. That's actually really good. So, Island, probe you. High Tide. Yawgmoth's Will. Then High Tide. Oh, yeah. We should definitely be able to win from here, actually. Brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. Well, those are actually pretty bad hits, but we'll play Spellseeker to shuffle our deck. Grabbing Brain Freeze. Then we will repeal Mana Vault. Play Mana Vault. Play another Probe for life. Play Ponder. Sure. Play Manamorphose. For blue-black. Then I think we just go for it. I mean, we have plenty of Storm. There's not really a way we can beat... Oh, yeah, we even have Mana Leak available if they have some weird thing. So let's just go for it here. And if they have like a random Eldrazi in their sideboard, we lose. But hopefully they don't. Wow, it looks like we actually got there. Oh my gosh. With 3 life left. Wow. What a match. Got the trophy. That was one of my favorite trophies I've gotten. I do not play decks like this very much. And this was like a very complicated Storm deck too. Lots of tutors, lots of weird mana things. Some tricky lines, deciding when to go for it. Wow, just what a league. That was awesome. We got the trophy with Storm. I guess Storm is the best deck in the format. Assassin's Trophy should maybe be in the main deck. There's a lot of things that sort of are problematic. Relic of Progenitus, Assassin's Trophy, obviously Ashiok. But yeah, that was a sweet deck, and we got the trophy, and that feels good. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.